Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, August 20, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons during the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your coworkers, your relatives, and even your church brethren. And subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what that has been like in your year recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future other than your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that they have no new area highlighted for a possible tropical cyclone development over the next 7 days. And this is as of their latest update that just came out at 7:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:26 p.m. Jamaica time. However, they've highlighted some areas on the latest Global Tropics Hazards Outlook from the United States Climate Prediction Center. And it's right here across the Atlantic. If we look closely, we can see some greens that represent an increase in the amount of rainfall that's expected. About a 50% chance of above average rainfall, especially across the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, where we have Jamaica highlighted as well. And they've also highlighted the main development region, and we're going to be taking a closer look here because the National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center made a post on their Twitter page and they gave us a close-up of what's expected. So we know the reds with the patterns within that represent some amount of tropical cyclone formation probability. That's about 20% chance, while the red with just the red in there, 40% chance, and the darker red is a 60% chance. And for the time period from August 28th to September 3, they have that area highlighted, the main development region is the portions of the Caribbean, and even the time period from September 4 to September 10, which is the climatological peak of Atlantic hurricane season, they have that area still highlighted. So that only means one thing: these tropical is coming off of Africa are gonna be possibly developing tropical depression, tropical storm. It is only a matter of time before the National Hurricane Center puts out some code yellows, if not code oranges. It's just a waiting game at this point, especially considering that all of the activities right now across the Eastern Pacific, all of the rising areas there, and usually as soon as the Eastern Pacific lights up with a lot of systems, the Atlantic is usually next in line. So look out for that, considering that it's going to be lining up with the climatological peak of hurricane season. And if we get a name, we know that Alberto is already out of here, that slammed into northern Mexico and into southern Texas. Beryl, we remember what Beryl did across the Windward Islands into Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, the Yucatan Peninsula, then Texas. Chris, remember quickly it slammed into Mexico even while Beryl was still going on. Debbie, Ernesto, we know the next name on our list is Francine, so look out for that. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we still have that cold front, which is now stationary across portions of the southeastern United States. Still brings some amount of cloud showers and thunderstorms to the area. As a matter of fact, the cold front is responsible for the cooler than average temperatures being experienced across portions of the eastern United States as we speak. We can also see a tropical wave right here across the western portion of Jamaica. Week one at that, we don't see or actually have been receiving much rainfall from these tropical waves at all. We also see another tropical wave right here across the eastern portions of the Caribbean, and another tropical wave right here exiting the coast of Africa. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the clouds right here associated with that stalled out frontal system. It'll bring some clouds and showers and even some thunderstorms to portions of the northern Bahamas, sections of Florida, the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. We can see the clouds associated with that tropical wave that has now pushed out to the west of Jamaica. We can definitely see the clouds right here even in portions of Honduras, Nicaragua right there. We can also see the clouds associated with the other tropical wave right there to the east of the Caribbean. Some of these clouds already making it in the portion of the Leeward Islands with some amount of rainfall. And we can also see the clouds associated with the other tropical wave right there closer to the coast of Africa. What we see here is associated with the intertropical convergence zone squashed to the south of the main development region. Well, we know the air from the northern hemisphere meets the air from the southern hemisphere, and then we have a lot of rising air. So that air is usually moist in general. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Tuesday, August 20. It was stated that we would have received some afternoon rainfall across sections of some northern and western parishes in Jamaica during Tuesday afternoon. And just for reference, we know northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on top. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes over in the county of Cornwall. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? As early as 1:55 p.m., the visible satellite image was posted here on our Twitter page. By the way, keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the post that was made highlighted the fact that we're receiving some thunderstorms, some isolated thunderstorms at that, across especially sections of some western parishes, so definitely Hanover, Westmoreland, and inland areas of some central parishes, so maybe sections of southern St. Anne, northern Clarendon, northern Manchester, southern Trelawney, southern St. James at that time. But as the afternoon progressed, we saw that the clouds were definitely building into portions of St. James, St. Elizabeth, overcast skies galore. And the east was definitely void of much in the way of rainfall or cloud cover, as we can see here. The city view from See Jamaica's YouTube channel did not show much in the way of anything at all. A lot of hazy skies in general, but not too robust. We can see that we didn't have much cloud cover, much rainfall any at all today. Definitely a sunny day in the corporate area, looking towards the New Kingston area. And this was as of 2:53 p.m. Jamaica time. And keep in mind that if you'd like to see more streams like this, just visit See Jamaica's YouTube channel. They show Halfway Tree, Crossroads, the Kingston Harbor, the Bogwalk Gorge, and the newly installed Barbican Cam. So subscribe if you'd like to see more of this. If we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had the rainfall today. We might have had some isolated showers in the morning hours, but during the afternoon we saw what took place across especially sections of some northern and western parishes for sure. If central parishes gotten some rainfall, it would have been more so northern portions of St. Elizabeth, northern Manchester, northern Clarendon, northern St. Catherine right there. And we can see it all even better right here on the infrared satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down. We saw the high cold cloud tops as represented by the blues, the greens, the yellows, oranges, reds. And we even see the sparkling white dots that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. So we definitely had that thunderstorm activity, especially across Hanover, St. James, Westmoreland, northern St. Elizabeth. More so overcast skies across southern Jamaica, but there might have been some isolated showers across sections of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. And if we take a look at the very latest infrared satellite image that just came out, as of 55 minutes past the hour, so that's about 7:55 p.m. We can see the latest one shows not much across Jamaica, definitely fierce skies as we speak. Even the latest Cuban Doppler radar imagery that just came out, this should have just come out as of, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If it's gonna load, which is actually 8 p.m. Jamaica time. Alright, I guess it's not here as yet, so I guess they have the 8:40 p.m. Alright, that's what we're gonna be working with. We do see at least a spot of green right there to the south of Kingston, far south. Not getting in on much of anything, and we can see the cloud associated with that rainfall that we just saw right there to the south of Kingston. That's basically it. There's no rainfall anywhere else across the island as we speak. And if we take a look at the latest crossroads cam, it does match up with what we just saw on the satellite image and the radar. Nothing taking place. A busy halfway tree road as usual. Persons going about their business. Quite a fair night. Not much in the way of clouds or rainfall at all. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can say about 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 29 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Wednesday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some grays and some slight yellow colors. That represents up to at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures. I know the normal temperatures for the month of August across Jamaica are about the same as July, 91 degrees Fahrenheit. And we calculate that, that's about 32.7 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Wednesday. And please ensure that you all stay out of the sun during peak hours. Don't want anyone catching heat stroke or whatever the case may be, no heat related illnesses. And stay hydrated as much as possible. Eat more fruits, apples, grapes, bananas, pineapples. Drink more water rather than juice or drinks. That's how you all stay hydrated. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, we can see Jamaica right here still getting in on some Saharan dust, as represented by the brown colors. As a matter of fact, there's still a lot more Saharan dust to come, as we can see all of this stretching from Africa into the main development region and into the Caribbean. All of this is moving westward, all courtesy of the ridge of high pressure to the north. What we're only hoping is that this is basically it for the month of August. Hopefully when we get into September, there's not much Saharan dust. We know bad the Saharan dust can be, causing very hazy skies, causing persons asthma, sinusitis, respiratory illnesses to be acted up. So please ensure that you have your meds handy just in case. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, still much of the same. The 0.5 meter wave heights in the Gulf of Mexico and Western Caribbean as represented by the lighter shades of blues. The darker shades of blues represent 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights from the Western Caribbean into the Eastern Caribbean. While the waters to the far south of Jamaica are getting in on those purples, those 2 to 3 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are strongest to the far south of Jamaica, where we see these yellows that represent up to 25 knot winds. Or we have more greens that represent anywhere from 20 or 15 to 20 knot winds. While the Gulf of Mexico, not much strong winds at all, more so blues and lighter shades of greens that represent anywhere from 0 to 5, maybe all the way up to 10 knot winds. But as it relates to what's expected across Jamaica tomorrow, look at this and look at where all of the air seems to be piling up, and both the Euro and the JFS models are in consensus with this forecast. You guys are gonna love this forecast, especially you guys on the south coast. So the wind seems to be coming in more so from the northeast on the north coast. Yes, it's coming in from the south and curving to the north on the south coast. But we see that most of the air is gonna be piling up. We see those blue shades, and it's especially across the south coast. So we might just get in on that daytime heating or that diurnal convection, especially across southern Jamaica on Wednesday afternoon. So if you're living in a southern parish, look out for that, because these low-level winds are going to cause the low-level clouds to become mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. And with the upper level winds coming into more from the northeast, it's definitely going to be favoring more of the overcast skies and thunderstorms across sections of some southern parishes in Jamaica. And we know southern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on the bottom side of the island. So Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catharines, Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Thomas. We'll see how it goes. Either way, the rainfall forecasts are as follows. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually 5 a.m. Jamaica time. And we do see the consensus. There's some amount of blue shades that represent some isolated shores mainly across maybe sections of the waters to the north of Portland, maybe even spilling into St. Mary, who knows? Maybe even St. Thomas might get in on the mix. Look out for that early morning rainfall if it's not out to sea. Then, as we head into about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 a.m. Jamaica time, we still see much of the same. Some blues represent rainfall across eastern portions of the island. So look out for that rainfall if you're living in the parishes of Portland, maybe St. Thomas. I'm not even gonna say Kingston and St. Andrew. Fingers crossed if you actually get it over there. But look at the afternoon and look at the consensus. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS, they're both valid for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And we see the consensus. Definitely section of southern Jamaica getting in on the most rainfall. Yes, eastern, central, and western Jamaica with the brunt of the rainfall on the south coast. So that's what's going to be stated on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook page. Afternoon rainfall by eastern, central, and western parishes with majority of it on the south coast. And look at that, the south coast definitely going to be getting the brunt of it. Look at the darker shades of blues, even some greens in there, especially across the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon right there. Not as robust on the Euro model, but we do see that there's consensus for that rainfall across southern Jamaica. So if you're living in a southern parish, look out for the rainfall. Definitely going to be cooling down the temperatures on Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully the Portmore people get the rainfall that they really need. Hopefully the Kingston and St. Andrew people get the rainfall that they really need. But the brunt of the rainfall seems to be right there on the border of Clarendon and Manchester for Wednesday afternoon. And both the Euro and the GFS supercomputer model accumulated precipitation forecast are in consensus that the most rainfall is going to be on the south side tomorrow. GFS showing all the way up to 0.42 of an inch of rainfall. Euro showing all the way up to at least 0.28 of an inch of rainfall. Either way, we'll take it. Keep in mind that both of these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Wednesday. Not saying that's going to be raining from now up all the way until then, but these are the areas that are going to be picking up the most in the way for rainfall. And we're indeed grateful for that, considering that it's going to be doing something for the very warm temperatures that some areas are experiencing. Persons are sick and tired of the heat in general. And we can see that in August we usually receive an increase in the amount of rainfall. Kingston's bar graph right here at the top. Montego Bay's bar graph right here at the bottom. Montego Bay usually receives all the way up to at least 5 inches of rainfall for the month of August. That's almost 125 millimeters of rainfall. Kingston usually receives almost 100 millimeters of rainfall during the month of August. That's almost 4 inches of rainfall, considering that 1 inch of rainfall, like what we see here, is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. So you can do the calculations yourself regarding the rain gauge, and you can visit weatherandclimate.com to find out about the rainfall distribution for your specific parish throughout the year. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So for sure, we definitely have some isolated thunderstorms across portions of Central America, sections of Panama, Costa Rica, the Bahamas, Cuba, Florida in general. And portions of the Eastern Caribbean definitely getting in on some isolated showers as we speak. And if we scroll down there, take a look at what's happening, we can actually see the green colors and even some yellows in there. There's some light to moderate rainfall stretching all the way from Dominica northward to Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, section of St. Martin, the US and British Virgin Island, Puerto Rico getting in on the mix. And the fact is that they've been getting in on that rainfall throughout today as well. Look at that. Southwestern Puerto Rico definitely got in on some isolated thunderstorms this afternoon, and they've been getting in on some rainfall across the Leeward Islands from this afternoon as well. Even on the Barbados radar, they're getting in on some rainfall across the Windward Islands. Look at that band of showers right there passing to the south of Martinique, heading into section of northern St. Lucia. Definitely gonna be a wet night tonight for them. You can also see some isolated showers coming into portions of eastern and southern Barbados. You can also see some rainfall right there to the east of the Grenadines, heading into portions of Tobago, maybe section of Trinidad later on tonight. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall across portions of sections of Florida, northwestern Cuba, section of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, northern Guatemala. We can also see some rainfall across sections of northwestern Colombia, portions of the French Guiana area, and as relates to where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours. We can see the Leeward Islands for sure associated with that tropical wave that we mentioned, and we see these yellows and these slight orange colors. Definitely gonna be getting on some rainfall. We can see both the Euro and the Jeff Smalls are in consensus with this. We also see some rainfall in store for a section of the Windward Islands, but not much across Trinidad and Tobago at all. But look south of there, we do see some isolated shores for sections of Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, but an increase in the rainfall across sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, sections of Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula. Not much rainfall in store for the Cayman Islands, but we do see some rainfall in store for sections of Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, sections of the Dominican Republic, maybe Haiti getting on some isolated shores, even sections of western Cuba, the northern Bahamas, and Florida getting in on the mix. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.